I've lost over 45 pounds and I want to share with you guys my different weight loss hacks and tips. These are so easy to integrate and to just start off your weight loss journey with, so let's get started. This is one of the easiest swaps you are going to make. The next time you go to serve yourself food, use a measuring cup instead of a big spoon or even a scale. When you're using a spoon, sometimes you're just like free pouring and you don't know your portion size, and then using a scale can just be mentally exhausting sometimes. So how much easier is it to just use a scoop and you know your portions? Okay, I have to shout you guys out for this one because one of you left a comment on my last video giving me this little hack, and it is putting protein powder in your Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is already high in protein. Adding a scoop of protein powder is such an easy way to even increase that protein. Getting an adequate amount of protein not only keeps you fuller for longer, but it helps you maintain your muscle mass while you're losing fat. Having muscle is super important because the more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns. So good. And I've talked to you guys about this before, but I like to get the plain Greek yogurt. That way it is just pure, plain, grass-fed yogurt without the added artificial colors, artificial flavorings. I know there's a lot of yogurts out there that are like strawberry flavored, vanilla flavored, but instead of getting the vanilla flavored, just get yourself actual vanilla flavoring and put it in. With the plain Greek yogurt, you do need to sweeten it, so I usually add honey. But what I like about this protein powder hack is that the protein powder is already sweetened and it already has a little bit of that vanilla flavor, or whether you get chocolate flavor, whatever, you're already flavoring up your yogurt and adding extra protein and sweetening it without having to add honey. So it's just the most amazing hack for me. But obviously, most importantly, you're getting that extra protein. I do really struggle with getting extra protein in my diet, and this has been one of my favorite hacks. Actually, shout out to one of you guys in the comment section that told me this tip. It's everything. Okay, one of my biggest hacks is to add a low-calorie salad to your meal to increase the volume. Now I know it sounds like salad, like how is that a hack, girl? But specifically a low-calorie salad. Now I'm not saying that other salads are bad or anything, but let's say you already have your meal done and you're like, you know what, I wanna add extra volume to this. You can put together a very yummy, super low-calorie salad. So cut out too many olives, cut out cheese, and don't put too much dressing, and you will have yourself a nice big salad that you can add to your meal, and all of a sudden your meal goes from like this size to this size. So that is one of my biggest hacks, because not only is it going to keep you fuller because of all of the micronutrients that is in salads and greens and veggies, but also it's going to just keep you fuller because you're eating more food. So highly recommend that. That's one of my tricks that I do all the time. So for example, if I'm eating a burrito bowl and I'm having some pico de gallo, I'll add a nice big salad as well to that burrito bowl, and you will have a huge giant meal. Like your meal will look huge. I definitely recommend getting yourself something like a veggie chopper. It makes making salads so much easier because a lot of the work can just be done for you by using a tool like this. So I'm gonna use my Temu vegetable chopper, which brings me to today's sponsor. Huge shout out to Temu for sponsoring today's video. If you do not know what Temu is, like, are you living under a rock? Temu is such an amazing website. They sell so many things, everything from clothes to kitchen items to home items to bath items to just everyday practical things that you might need. I got so many amazing things from them for such an affordable price. Other competitors out there do not even compare in terms of pricing. They sell the same items for 5 times higher. Temu has these items for such an affordable price. Another thing I like about Temu is how easy it is to shop on there. Everything is categorized, so it's super easy to go through and see what you need. I was actually shocked when I was shopping on there just how many items you can get for 5 times, 3 times less cost than other competitors out there. So I'm gonna leave my link for you guys to download Temu down below. You can use the code on the screen here to get a $100 coupon bundle and shop your little hearts off at Temu. This Temu veggie chopper has been a game changer, and I've seen other retailers sell it for double the price. These little glass cups have been my new go-to for my matcha. They're so cute, and this is such a comfy set. I've been wearing it nonstop. I love this little face roller, and Kylo's obsessed with this little projector light, and who doesn't love a sensor soap dispenser? And how cute is this bath rug? And these layered scissors are a staple in the kitchen. This is something I've been doing for years and it saves you so many calories, but you can still enjoy having like the yummy sauces on top of your meal. So here's an example. Here's some garlic sauce and I'm just gonna add some filtered water to thin it out. And you can even do this in the bottle directly. You can put it in a separate bottle. I'm also gonna add some hot sauce, obviously just to add flavor, but it even thins it out even more. And now instead of having a 60 calorie sauce, now you have something that's closer to 40 calories. So you can spice up your meal without having too many calories. You can do this with so many different sauces. My next tip is to meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. Now I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing of that word. We see it all over TikTok and Instagram where people are making 5 breakfasts, 5 lunches, 5 dinners, 5 desserts and stacking that up for the week. And I know that can look very overwhelming. Personally, that's not how I choose to meal prep because again, I find it just overwhelming and I also don't want to eat the same meal for 5 days in a row. But what I like to do is whenever I cook, I like to make enough for the next 3 to 4 days. And that way you have dinner for the next 3-ish days and you can always take that meal and repurpose it. So for example, if I'm making steak, then I can make some extra steak and I know the next day I can have steak tacos, I can have steak burrito bowl, I can have a steak burrito. Like there's so many ways that you can repurpose a meal so that meal prepping is not boring. And like I said, that's just how I prefer to meal prep. It's just when I do cook, I just cook enough for the next few days rather than trying to overwhelm myself by making breakfast, lunch, and dinner and all these snacks. For me, having dinner or food prepped ahead of time makes me stick to my deficit so much easier because you have that food already made. You know when you're busy and you get super hungry and you don't know what to eat for dinner and then on that whim you make a really bad decision? That's when meal prepping comes in handy because your food is already prepped. There's no room for you to make bad decisions and order food or maybe put way too large of a portion on your plate. Your food is already prepped. You've already set yourself up for success for the week by meal prepping. So if you prefer to do your breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 3 to 4 days, definitely do that. But if you prefer a more relaxed approach, do what I do. The next time you cook, just make enough for the next 3, max 4 days and you'll have food prepped. Meal prepping has hands down been one of the biggest things that has helped me. I've had weeks where I haven't had food prepped and I notice that I just have a less successful week weight loss wise. Like I won't lose as much weight. Whereas when I have that food prepped, like I said, you're setting yourself up for success already. Okay, hear me out. The more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns. That is just one of the reasons to weightlift. You will literally burn more calories just sitting on your couch than someone who doesn't have as much muscle. So definitely get that weightlifting in and add it into your workout routine. Not to mention, it also just makes your body look good. Anytime I'm not weightlifting and I'm kind of slacking, I notice my butt is a little smaller and just doesn't have that pop. Okay, hands down, one of my biggest hacks. I have shared this with you guys before, but I'm gonna share it again because it is so necessary. Even if you're not on a weight loss journey, but especially if you're on a weight loss journey, get yourself a oil spray bottle, especially this one because it mists very evenly. This one just distributes the oil super evenly. So within 2 sprays, your whole pan is going to be evenly covered with oil and you're only gonna use 5 calories of oil. Whereas when you try to take oil from a bottle and evenly cover the pan, you end up having to dump so much oil and before you know it, you have 100 to 200 calories of oil and it is such a waste. So this is one of the easiest hacks to cut down on calories. I do specifically recommend this one because of how even it mists. I've used other ones before where the oil shoots out and you kind of still have the same problem where you're needing to spray it so many times to get it even. So I love that this one is specifically a mist and it helps that the bottle is glass. So you're kind of avoiding plastic. My next hack is empty out your pantry. Like I did this years ago and it was the best thing that I did. If you have unhealthy, tempting snacks in your house, you're bound to eat them. Like that's just a fact. If I had some Doritos in that pantry, best believe I would eat them and then I would likely go over my calories. So here's the thing, everyone's going to be different. For me personally, there are certain things that other people might consider tempting that for me, I've kind of just developed a way to be able to have them within my portions and within my calories. So I still keep chocolate in my pantry because that's my little vice. I'll still keep chocolate cake, for example, because for those items, I know that I'll be able to have my portion size and I'll be able to fit it into my deficit. But if you have a chocolate cake in your fridge and you know you're gonna eat the whole thing and go over your calories and put on weight, don't buy the chocolate cake. Like that is one of my #1 tips. So like I said, everyone's gonna be different. For me, I personally find like chips and Doritos and those type of things very tempting because I feel like with chips, you could just snack and snack and snack until you hit the bottom of the bag. So for everyone, it's going to be different, but I emptied out this pantry a long time ago. So a lot of people that come over to my house, they're like, where's the snacks at? And I'm like, I'm an almond mom. No, I'm joking. But for real, like I don't really have a ton of like super yummy snacks. I have a lot of healthy options. So if you come to my house, you're gonna find Lara bars. You're gonna find these yummy little mini cookies because they fit well into your deficit. But again, something like that, maybe you would find that tempting, so don't buy them. But for me, I'm able to fit that in. And to be honest with you, I really don't have much else to snack on because I know if I keep a lot of snacks in the house, then I am just going to do a lot of snacking. BLT, bites, licks, and tastes, like I like to say. So do not keep tempting unhealthy snacks in your house. Clear out your fridge, clear out your pantry. It's the best thing you're going to do. If it's not in your home, you're not going to eat it. And I highly doubt you're gonna hop in your car and go get those snacks. So chances are you will just sit down and snack on an apple instead. So I purposely keep my house stacked and stocked with fruit like oranges and apples and other healthy things that I can snack on. Okay, this is probably one of my biggest tricks that I do is I keep resistance bands on deck. I keep them in my living room. I can do them while Kylo is watching TV. I can do them while he's playing. There's just no excuse for not having time to work out when you have such an easy band to put on. And let me tell you, don't sleep on these. They actually help build so much muscle. And every time after I do these, my booty is popping, okay? I have a nice pump. Having a consistent bedtime may seem like that has nothing to do with weight loss, but let me tell you, that could not be further from the truth. Our bodies have something called the circadian rhythm, which means you're gonna wake up at the same time every morning. So if you're going to bed late and not keeping a consistent bedtime, you're losing out on sleep, and cortisol levels do spike when you don't get adequate sleep. There's been lots of studies that show when your cortisol levels are spiked, it's a lot harder on your metabolism, thus it makes it a lot harder for you to lose weight. Women specifically need at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night, preferably closer to 9, honestly. So definitely keep that consistent bedtime so you can get good sleep and lose that weight, girl.